There have been many numerous sources and proof that Jesus was gay and he was in a relationship with the majority of the apostles. What is the stance of your church regarding this issue? Follow-up questions are fetishes. Example, foot fetish, scat fetish, included and welcome in your LGBT affirming church. There are certain... Okay, let me address the proof that Jesus was gay. There is no proof, and there is no heavy evidence, textual or otherwise, that tells us or determines for us the sexuality of Jesus. Now we have, I know of one or two books by a scholar who argues about the sexuality of Jesus, or the at least homoerotic behavior or relationship of Jesus, but by at large there is no preponderance of proof in the biblical text and other sources to say or to speak of the sexuality of Jesus. We don't know. There is none. There is more evidence, textual evidence, to the homoerotic relationship of David and Jonathan. That we can be sure. There is strong arguments for that, but there is no strong evidence or proof, biblical proof, to the sexuality of Jesus. You might be confusing certain theological sources about interpreting Jesus to be the face of the marginalized. For example, the same way that African American people may see Jesus as black, or once upon a time during the time of slavery, the African American slaves saw Jesus as a black slave. That is okay. That is encouraged in liberation theologies. Often these days you will hear the face of Jesus is the face of a person living with HIV/AIDS. The face of Jesus is the face of a homeless person. The face of Jesus is the face of the oppressed women. And if you think that you can imagine Jesus as a gay person, by all means, but there is no preponderance of evidence as to if we really know the sexuality of Jesus. There is none. As to your last question about fetish, I will just go back to the part where no matter what sexual preference or sexual activity it is, again, if it is not harmful, if it is not violent, if it is mutually consensual, then by all means, enjoy, live your life. At the same time, the church has no business in terms of getting into people's bedrooms. Whatever fetish that you have, again, as long as it is appropriate, ethically appropriate, by all means. It is welcome, not in the sense that, will they do that in our church? Of course, you don't do your fetishes in church. But what we say is, again, live your authentic self together with your sexuality in the most loving, in the most just, in the most appropriate way. Hello, I'm a 15-year-old guy from Australia, and I recently moved here from the Philippines. I don't live with my parents anymore, as they're not as LGBT affirming because of their religion. Long story. How do you reconcile being LGBT with the Bible? I'm currently